Okay, might as well keep rolling while we're on a roll, huh? Okay, so we cut off the top of my head the last time. I'll crouch down a little bit. Okay, so my brother Mark is the favorite. He was the firstborn. He represented liberation from Mary Magdalen and Rosamond, from my mother, who was an extremely overbearing, powerful woman who had raised 6 children by herself, making hats in Ventura. She came from Germany. Well, she was born in Iowa, but she spoke fluent German. Her 4 daughters were devotees to her. And my mother was the rebellious one. So when she had her first child, Mark, this was liberation. Ha ha! Thank God I could be a mother too. See, when you live in the church of Mary Magdalene, you know, a lot of things are in doubt. Of course, my mother was very insecure. So Mark was her liberation. So, thank God I found a man who appears to be a good-looking, capable man, and he's not going to be a bum like my father, and I'm not going to go through what my mother went through. And we got a son. And that was the biggie. Because Rosamond didn't have any sons. I think that really added to his disappointment in his wife. He really wanted a son. And last, in this line, of the 4 Rosamond, there's a son, Mark. Now Lillian had a son, Dickie, before Mark, but he ended up to have been born with terrible birth defects, and he ended up in Camarillo State Hospital. He was pretty much a non-entity. So Mark was really the first healthy born son of 4 Rosamond sisters. Aunt Lillian didn't have any sons, and that was a big deal. She was the firstborn. And she tried to adopt me. Her and my uncle wanted me to be their son. And according to Vic, Rosemary really favored Mark over me, really neglected me, and just poured all this adoration on him, and pretty much stuck her foot out and tripped me up every time she could. Vic says, I wanted to intervene, but, I didn't. You know how Rosemary is. Right. So, so many blocks. I look at the blocks in my life, and I'm overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed. I think if I hadn't died and come back, I wouldn't be able to handle it. But I realized that my canvas was pretty much wiped clean. Even though I had memories of my life before 20 years old, it wouldn't be the same. I wasn't playing with the same cards I was dealt. But then again, I am. See, this is where it's complex. And this is all acted out in the New Testament. The birth of John the Baptist and Jesus. People are trying to fathom this, but when I read Luke one night in 1987, I got it all. I understood exactly. And I, invited Jesus to come into the darkness, but there was family incest, of course. There was another attempt to, manipulate the covert information. See, truth is not allowed. People are going to go in the subterranean. When you do that, the family starts having dark, unnatural, incestuous contexts. So Jesus came into my life and he said, my Father and I are working on these things already. Be not afraid. Spiritual courage will be met with spiritual courage. So that's what I deal with since 1987, spiritual courage. To have my daughter taken out of my life and not being told my mother was dying and I get to see her, and my father was dead by Vicky and Mark, and again, does this indicate that I'm a bad person, that these things are happening to me? No. We've already had my trial with the Kimites, with the 500-pound beast, the ugly Elardo, and my neighbors. They already had their kangaroo trial, and so did Ali Valkyrie, and most of the she-demon witches of the Emerald Valley. They tried me. So I have to conclude that all these bad things happen to me because I'm the chosen one. I'm the master. It's the only choice left to me. What other choice do I have? The lie? Say, oh yes, what they said about me is true, all true. I'll say anything. Just stop torturing me. Stop taking my family. Stop messing with my children, my grandchildren. Yes, I'm the most evil person born on the planet. See? Well, what are they going to do with that confession? Well, I did something with it. I let my judges know that I'm the Antichrist. I'm supposed to come before Jesus can come back and bring the kingdom of God. I'm a vital part of this play. You can't perform it without me. I need to come onto the stage. I need to do certain things. Okay? And then there's Revelations 12. The woman and the dragon. She's born during a star shower, and she runs and hides with the child in the wilderness. Well, apparently I'm that child. So, is that child the Antichrist? Could it be John who wrote Revelations? Could it be him? Could I be him? Could I be the author of Revelations? Well, there's a possibility of that. And we're going to look at that because that comes from the Godstock, Rosamond, and the Brotherhood, the Swan Brotherhood, and St. John's Janskirk Church in Den Bosch, Holland, where John the seer was worshipped. They built a church around him. So my brother was a neo-Nazi racist. He is now. He pretty much invented President Trump's platform and the evangelical Republican Party that took over the party founded by my kindred, Jesse Benton and John Fremont. So the chosen one in Rosemary's eyes turned out to be a very bad man in my eyes, but in the eyes of millions who voted for Trump. He's the forerunner. He's the one that wrote the blueprint on how to be a racist, selfish, misogynist, hater of women. He used women. So he's the one that Rosemary championed. Did she think that I was the Antichrist? Was June hearing things from the Catholic priests that the Order of Rosicrucians are of Satan and the Antichrist? Is that what was going on? Were there people persecuting the Rose Cross, the Rose Brethren, that Mary Magdalene Rosamond was a member of? Were they being persecuted? Yes, they were. That's why they disappeared. That's why all this information, instead of being above right here, it's way down here. Buried. And I'm unburying it. So, where are we? What other news? Other news is worth. So, yeah, there's God. I've seen him. So that's out of the equation. All this wonderment from the evangelicals, the Protestants, the Catholics, and the Rosicrucians, and people from India, it's solved. The big problem is solved. Yes, there is a God, and I saw him when I died. And we'll talk about that next time. I just wanted to check this out to see what the frame is. I think I'm going to use this for a backdrop. All right, you have a wonderful day out there. Bye.